So it may have taken me a while to get to this party, a bit late to it, but I finally went and saw the Backrooms. Did about an hour journey out to another cinema because my cinema didn't want to play the Backrooms, which is so stupid. I don't. Why wouldn't you just play the movies that come out? Why are there these two exceptions? Because I can't watch Obsession either, and I really want to watch that one because it's good. But no, they just don't want to play it. So, yep, had to do that journey. Made it there. Watched it. The popcorn and drinks were so expensive, by the way. I don't know if that was just that cinema, but that cost me like $100. And that was fucking tragic. But besides that, it was, in my opinion, my correct opinion even, a really good movie. I really liked what the Backrooms did because so many horror movies, especially in the like I don't know, the Blumhouse or those types of things are always just the same. Well, not the same, but there is a very typical demon, possession, ghost, those typical scary scares. And it's not like that can't work because I haven't seen it, but once again, Obsession is really bangers from what I hear. So it can work, but this was so fresh and new, and it was felt like a new type of horror to see on the big screen, if that makes sense. And I loved it. I loved that. It was so good. Look, I went and saw it with my mum, and she didn't like it as much because she said it felt like watching someone's nightmare, and I felt the same way. But I love that because you get lost in this confusing world that is that is mysterious and shit. I just thought it was so good, and spoilers, I really liked Captain Clark. He was a cool thing. I unfortunately, it took me 2 weeks or three, I don't know when the movie came out, to see this movie, so obviously I had been spoiled a bit. But yeah, it was good to see. It was cool to see him. He was scary. The weird, what do they call still life things? With the three of them, they looked weird and gross, but cool. Clark, you tricked me, internet. I thought Clark was going to be this. He's just a good guy down on his life. No, Clark's a dickhead. I'm sorry, but Clark was never a good guy in my opinion. As soon as we saw him and how he reacted to that little role play they did, yes, they hopped in a Discord server and hopped on and started doing their 18 plus role play in the general channel for some reason with the therapist lady. I knew this man was a dickhead. I didn't, and I thought, oh yep, he looks like he would own a white. I don't know what they're called. The wife beater shirt. You know, the skinny top, tank top. I think that's actually it. Yeah, tank top. So he was never a good guy. That was like some propaganda that the fucking feed filled into my mind. Such a good movie though, and it felt so great to be lost in it, if that makes sense. I know this would probably get you magged up by any other type of director or writer, but the confusion on what was going on was really special to me. Obviously, I knew about the series before and I have got a general idea of the backrooms, but just yeah, the what's going on thing really added to my intrigue with this movie. Now, this movie was more contentious than I thought it was upon release. Lots of people didn't like it because it wasn't their backrooms, if that makes sense. A lot of people wanted this kind of, well, no monsters, liminal spaces, and like all these different levels and whatnot. People wanted that. They wanted the pool rooms, they wanted the grassy green room, just for example. But that in itself wasn't his idea of the backrooms. I feel like you should have an idea of, because who is leading it, what it is going to be, because obviously it's going to be about their idea of the backrooms, their concept. You could see it in the series even. So I don't understand why people went in expecting a different thing, if that makes sense. They expected the PNGs to slide across the floor and come after you, Kanye West style and everything. And I just feel like that's the wrong mentality to go into it. No offense. Like, I can understand why you'd want something that you have the idea of, but that's like asking for, I don't know, if there was an SCP movie or something like that, and you wanted them to include all of the SCPs, even the ones that are so stupid, you know, they wanted all of them. When obviously the person making that would probably pick and choose their favorites and keep them in the film while getting rid of some stupidly broken ones and just stupid ones in general. There's a million SCPs that are stupid. But that's my kind of point. This is their thing ultimately. And I feel like that concept was probably shown in the trailers, I would have to say. So yeah. No, no, there is a fatal flaw to this movie though. An unacceptable flaw. My mum, a keen-eyed woman, I tell you, apparently, there is a fatal flaw that she picked up on. There was this scene where the therapist, I'm really sorry I can't remember her name. I really only remember Clark's name, mostly because of Pirate Clark and hearing about Clark. No one talks about the therapist. Where she is walking to the store and then she goes downstairs, and in between those cuts, she loses her jumper, her coat, her thing. And I thought my mum was on crazy juice. Like, what are you talking about, mum? How would they have not picked that up? But you know, you go onto IMDb, you look at goofs, and there it was. They just apparently forgot that, which is like, you should have had my mum in the test screening or something. Yeah, very good movie in my opinion. It's something so new to Hollywood, if that makes sense. And that's what I like to see. Like, even if this movie was the worst thing ever, I would have to give it props for just the ambition, because this is a young director, the youngest director ever, doing a job that, you know, his generation or his aged people don't typically get. So I'm inspired by it, if that makes sense. It was a great movie, and it was a good movie. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not great with reviews, but I really liked it. It was something really special to me. And yeah. Oh, by the way, off topic, but did you see the Knicks one?